welcome to the 15th episode of Not Just Numbers, Honest Conversations with a Financial Advisor and Lawyer. I am Madison Jamora, and I am here with Mike Gary. Mike is the financial advisor and CFP and the founder and the CEO of Yardley Wealth Management. He is also an estate planning lawyer, and his law firm is Yardley Estate Planning. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Maddie, how are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. So, Mike, are you ready to discuss the article on when you'll be replaced by an AI tool?
Maybe someday, Maddie, but not yet. But yes, I am ready to discuss the article and the concept.
Okay. So I hear ChatGPT passed the bar exam. It might have had an easier time than you did.
It might have, but I hear I scored better. They scored like 90th percentile. I was higher than that, but I'm guessing the next version will blow my scores away.
So what do you think about the article I shared with you earlier this week?
I thought it was really good, and I like the 5 criteria the author used for giving effective financial advice. I was surprised by what AI did well and poorly. The 5 criteria are debiasing, or in English, helping clients know and understand what their behavioral biases are and helping to reduce them. Empathy, accuracy, best interest, and consistency.
Okay, so how about I read a summary of the article so our listeners have a little better idea of what we are referring to. So this article is titled, Can AI Replace Your Financial Advisor? Not Yet, But Wait. And it's written by Shlomo Benartzi. AI tools like ChatGPT have made impressive strides and can handle tasks like passing the bar exam for lawyers and assisting with medical diagnoses. The article explores whether AI is ready to replace financial advisors and assesses AI's performance against 5 essential qualities for effective financial advice. Number 1, debiasing. AI tools, like humans, can exhibit behavioral biases. To improve AI's performance, meta rules should be established to help the software override these biases. Number 2, empathy. AI excels at empathy, which is crucial for calming investors during market volatility. Number 3, accuracy. AI can be unreliable and makes mistakes, but these issues can be mitigated through the combination of external tools and reliable financial databases. Number 4, best interest. AI should act in the best interest of clients, but transparency and monitoring are essential to avoid conflicts of interest. Number 5, consistency. AI can achieve consistency by providing the same advice to clients with similar financial needs and preferences. The future of financial advice may involve a hybrid model where AI and human advisors collaborate. AI can expand thinking and help with decision-making, and human oversight can ensure quality. This approach can increase access to financial advice, especially for those who cannot afford a human advisor. Financial advisors are unlikely to lose their jobs to AI, but can use technology to enhance the quality and reach their services. AI has the potential to deliver advice 24/7, provided accuracy and debiasing challenges are addressed. So, Mike, what was surprising?
Well, it seems to me that what AI does best is display empathy of all things, while its accuracy wasn't all that great. Right? Like that is really crazy to me. And in the article discusses a study where they had AI and other medical clinicians respond to people on an online forum, and when they did that, they found that the AI tool was way more likely to show appropriate empathy than the medical practitioners were. Now, when I think of what a computer program is going to do, displaying empathy to people with medical issues is not high on the list. Meanwhile, accuracy was not good, right? You'd think, if anything, the computer could figure out, what's 2 + 2 or whatever that's trying to figure out. Like, it's just shocking to me.
Yeah. Do you believe AI can eventually replace human financial advisors in providing personalized financial guidance?
Not on its own. I think as I agree with what the author of the article wrote, which was that AI needs like meta rules or guide rails for its advice, and I think you need to have a human there too. Just like we said, like the the pilots, like a lot of our planes are flown by computers, but it's good to have a pilot sitting there just in case something comes up. I feel like it could be the same way, but there's a lot of things that AI can help with. A lot of creating content or maybe writing empathetic emails after hearing it did so well in empathy.
Yes, yes. So, how can AI's empathy be leveraged in providing financial advice to clients during market volatility?
Well, I think what the author wrote was that it can help um, advisors draft emails or articles, displaying empathy during market corrections, and can probably do it much, much faster so that the advisor could get something out quicker, right? And be more responsive to clients and, have clients all over it. So whereas the old model 10 or 20 years ago, maybe an advisor would call a couple people and talk about things, this way the advisor can send out an email to all of their clients right away, and then the ones that they know will feel particularly will feel the pain particularly acute when markets are in times of stress. The advisor can spend the time talking to those people, instead of just trying to talk to everybody when that's not really possible in a short amount of time.
Yeah. So it can make your life a little bit easier as an
Yes.
advisor.
Yep.
So, what challenges and benefits do you see in integrating AI with external tools and reliable financial databases to improve the accuracy of financial advice?
Yeah, so I think what the article the author mentioned was really good is that um, while consumers and advisors often fall prey to buy more funds that have the highest marketing budgets instead of buying funds that have lower costs or better returns. If you use a database like it recommended Morningstar, but there's lots of others, and if you put guide rails so that the funds that the AI tool can only suggest funds that are on average have lower cost or are more tax efficient or any of the other things that we look for as fiduciaries, then it could do a better job of screening those funds, and then maybe the advisor can take a look at the end. But the AI tool can do a lot of work in a really short amount of time. And then the advisor can kind of look and know if what it's saying is accurate, if it's coming back with is accurate or not. But it could be a really good thing. Could be a really good tool that way.
Okay. So, can AI effectively eliminate conflicts of interest and act in the best interest of clients? And how can transparency and auditing be used to address these concerns?
Yeah, so it's funny. When they did the studies, the AI still had the same or similar conflicts of interest that other people or advisors would have. And the author suggested you need to put in those meta rails or tools to guide the AI tool. So it's so interesting. It's almost like the AI is as a start and can do some things, but that it really needs more specific rules, which requires a lot of work on the advisor. So I guess at this point, it looks like it's one of the many tools that we use. We'll see though. It's interesting. It's changing quickly.
Yeah. So, how important is consistency in financial advice, and how can AI ensure consistent advice across different clients with varying financial needs and preferences?
So here's a case where I think that the author um, brought up something that was not necessarily a a big thing. So in the article, it said one thing they found is when clients go to different advisors, the new advisors use different funds or investments and will handle some things a different way. And they thought that was bad and that it should be more consistent. But I think that from the professor there, I don't agree with that. I think there are a lot of ways you could be successful financially. And I think, an advisor will likely be consistent within his or her client base. And I think that's important, and should respond to things in a consistent way. But that doesn't mean every advisor has to do things consistently the same way, because that's just not real life. I don't think that's, so that's something that is not a concern in my book. I think that there are a lot of different ways to do things, and as long as they are in the best interest of clients, and the client reach their goals, I think that's the important thing. Part of that is clients don't all want the same things, right? So a lot of times when we're doing the financial planning process for the clients, we'll tell them, this is a collaborative process. This is not me handing down what the law is. Like, we discuss your situation, we'll give you the range of options and what makes sense. And just because something might make the most sense financially, or might give you like the highest percentage chance of retiring at a certain age on a certain income, doesn't mean that you have to do that. Because plan B could be almost as good, but if you really want to do plan B and it still works, it's okay if it's only 95% as effective as plan A, right? Does that make sense to you, Maddie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Diversification,
Yep.
everyone has a different portfolio, a different way of investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what lessons can be learned from the hybrid model in the medical domain, where smart software and doctors work together? How might this model be applied to financial advice?
I think it's a great lesson. I think that right now we're at a point where the advisor can use the AI tool for lots of different things, but still has to guide the AI tool and realize that it's a tool, and it could come back with inaccurate or wrong information. When I was reading this article, I was thinking about the lawyer who recently got fined because he used ChatGPT to file a brief, and the AI tool ChatGPT just came up with like completely fake cases that didn't exist, and the lawyer didn't check it the way that he should have, and he sent it on. And it's a real specialized part of the law, and the lawyers and the lawyers on the other side and the judge knew right away that it was nonsense. And so you really have to be careful. So it's a tool, but you need to check it. Just like your calculator or your anything that you write, you need to come back and have a second look and make sure it's the right thing.
Wow. And he got fined for that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And even worse than the $5,000 fine was that every lawyer in America knew that it happened. So I'm sure he's more embarrassed than you could imagine.
That's what I was kind of thinking, only a fine, but I guess the embarrassment
would be
is
far worse.
Probably worse. Yeah.
Yes. Right. If you're thinking about using a lawyer and you want to check him out beforehand, and you Google, and then the first thing you see is I was fined for erroneously using an AI tool to file a brief, it probably is going to hurt that guy's business. And it's a shame, because he was probably overworked, trying to get a lot of stuff done, and thought this would be a good shortcut. And I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now double check your work if you're going to be using ChatGPT.
Right.
All right. So do you believe AI can expand access to financial advice, especially for those who cannot afford a human advisor? What challenges need to be overcome to achieve this?
Right. That is the hope, and that would be great, because a lot of people can't afford financial advice. There's not that many financial advisors. The issue though is, someone is going to have to put in the rules or the guide rails, the meta rules for the software to make sure it's not just giving bad advice. It's kind of shocking the way sometimes things come back and it's just, nonsense. So that has to be overcome before you could let millions of people rely on it for advice. It's not providing any advice here.
Yes.
There's all kinds of programs or software out there for the different parts of financial advice. And sometimes it can be helpful. Like most 401ks will have an area where you could put in how much you're saving, and it'll estimate how much money you'll have at retirement. The problem with a lot of those tools is that you need to have a pretty good amount of financial literacy to be able to use them. And so for some part of the population, they're great and that's all they need. But for others, who have a lower level of financial literacy, and that's not a bad thing. Like, people have different things that they're interested in or good at in their lives, right? Just because you can't manage money for yourself is in no way a bad thing. There's a lot of stuff that I need to hire somebody else for. But yeah, until somebody puts in guardrails, so I'm optimistic and hopeful, but we're not anywhere close to it yet.
Yep. So how do you see the role of human financial advisors evolving in an AI assisted landscape? How can they use technology to enhance their services and reach more clients?
Yeah, well, I think that if they use AI tools, it can lead to a lot better efficiency, and maybe they could do more things in the same amount of time, and that over time those will add up so that they could be more efficient and can deal with more relationships and and provide better advice. It's in a quickly evolving landscape, so we'll see how it goes, but it's interesting. It's really interesting.
It is very interesting. All right. So my last question, what additional improvements or advancements are necessary for AI to become an effective and trusted financial advisor in the future?
Yeah, so somebody's got to be able to figure out how to put in those different rules. And right now the accuracy is a big thing, because if you're relying on AI as your advisor and you don't know if something is wrong, that's an issue. Like right now, if I were to use an AI tool for something in financial planning or investments, well, I would know if it was wrong when it came back. If somebody's using it for advice, they're not necessarily going to know, unless it's like really out there, that it's wrong. And so until that is fixed, I don't see how it could be used. But, things change quickly. We'll see. We could have this conversation a year from now, and I could be shocked at how things have advanced.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's crazy to even think how AI has come this far.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think that's it, Maddie. Thank
All
you.
right. Awesome.
Thanks for finding this article and bringing it to my attention.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so for more information on YWM, you can visit our website at yardleywealth.net. You can also follow us on socials at Yardley Wealth Management. This podcast has been produced by Madison Demora and Mike Gary, with technical and artistic help from Poe Productions.